The next-gen Xbox console has been announced. It's called the Xbox One, XB1, Xbone. Okay, so to describe it in 5 seconds or less, we have Kinect, sports, TV, backwards compatibly? No! Tim, what did you think about the presentation from Microsoft?
Pretty underwhelming,
yeah,
actually.
that was what the internet thought.
Yeah. I mean, they talked about a lot of things, but I was under the impression that they were announcing a new game console.
Wrong.
Not the case.
No. Well, okay, it was a game, it's obviously a game console, but the heavy focus was on, as I said, sports. They have a deal with the NFL Network, or the NFL.
So that you can play fantasy football.
So you can play fantasy football.
I don't know how to play fantasy football.
You can jeer at the people in your league using Skype and 1080p, maybe, on some connections.
It's a lot of buzzwords in one sentence.
Yeah, I am not interested in that. And it's pretty much the coolest DVR ever.
Okay.
I don't really...
That's cool. If you wanted a really cool DVR,
that's
then
not what I was going for. Yeah. And lastly, Kinect 2.0. And ain't no party like a Kinect 2.0 party, because a Kinect 2.0 party is mandatory.
Besides that,
yeah.
I think the Kinect 2.0 looks pretty cool. Besides the fact that it exists, it does way cooler stuff than the first Kinect did.
Well, yes, it is an upgrade.
It's much more impressive. So if we're putting all our cards on the table and going with motion sensing control, this is an improvement, right? I mean, it's better. It works way better than the first Kinect.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to have it. The Xbox will not work without it. What is cool is it does have IR technology, so it can see you in the dark and all the things you do, mainly watching a movie, any movie, or playing a scary game. And it can actually work out your skeleton better and see your heartbeat, which isn't scary at all. And since it's always on, always watching you, always staring at you, you can turn it on with your voice. So you'd say, Xbox, on, it's on. Xbox, turn on Netflix, Netflix.
That's how voice control works, exactly right.
Yes, but it's just like, it's always on, so it'll just, at any moment it can do that. I don't know, I feel uncomfortable with it. It's like if my webcam were on all the time. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you see people put little pieces of tape on their webcam.
I totally
Because they don't trust it even when the little green light isn't on.
Well, people have hacked into webcams before. It's not impossible.
Sure, so now we're putting high definition, 1080p, always on camera, pointed directly at me where exactly I sit in my underpants every day.
And it sees you and it hears you.
Yes,
always.
all the time. Which is weird and creepy.
But you're into it?
But it's the future, I guess.
Well, the Xbox itself does look a lot like a home entertainment system, the hardware.
That's what they're going for.
Yeah. And the controller looks more or less the same. We're missing a little bump on the back for the batteries. The home buttons moved a little bit. It looks cleaner, I guess less plasticky. So for the specs, I think it has 500 gigabytes of memory, 8 gigabytes of RAM, a Blu-ray drive, finally. Are you excited? We're catching up to the PS3.
Yeah, I mean, I already have the PS3 with a Blu-ray player. It does a really good job.
We also have Snap Mode, which means you can do 2 things at once. So we have the same technology as an iPhone. Intelligent TV, that's what I said with the NFL, where you can connect better. And Steven Spielberg is going to be producing premium content, a Halo series.
There's only room for one Halo series in my heart.
Halo Forward Unto Dawn?
No, Red versus Blue.
Oh, of course, Rooster Teeth. Yeah, you win. I like that one better too.
Yeah, I watch it all the time too. It's still good. It still holds up.
So it is cool that Steven Spielberg is making a series, but that's not really what gamers were wanting, per se. We did get to see a Call of Duty dog. That dog looks great.
Yes, it's a well-rendered dog. All of your dog bomb sniffing, gun finding dreams have come true, Kim.
There's 0 backwards compatibility in this, and they have shown no interest in doing this at all, saying that less than 5% of users would play a game from an older console and they don't want to invest the time in it. And one exec said something along the lines of, if you want backwards compatibility, then you are backwards, or you're backwards. And it's just like, were you trying to make the internet mad at you?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Kim, but didn't the Xbox 360 have 0 backwards compatibility? It didn't play regular Xbox games, right?
I didn't have the original Xbox.
Internet, back me up on this.
But I
Zero
had,
backwards compatibility.
I had the
This is nothing new.
PS3, which worked with the PS2 games.
Some of the PS3s
Okay,
did.
some of them, but it was better than nothing.
It was better than nothing.
And
something is better than nothing.
At least PlayStation, well, Sony has said they're making an effort to, there is no backwards compatibility disc-wise, but they are attempting something with their Gaikai cloud gaming service, so you would probably have to re-buy the games.
The thing that makes me the most nervous is the used
Yes,
game issue.
yes.
How every game that you buy for this system you need to install on the hard drive, and then it is registered to your account, and then so you could play on any Xbox One anywhere as long as you're logged in,
Yeah.
and it authenticates your account. You don't need the game disc any longer. But that game disc is now useless after the fact. You can't resell it, you can't give it to someone to use for a while.
Well, they have actually updated that info indicating that there will be some kind of way to sell your used games, which I assume is you're selling whatever code they've given you or erased it from your account. And I don't know, how would I buy this? I mean, how would I buy a used Xbox One code game at all, or would that not even work? Would I just trade it in for some amount of Microsoft points? That wasn't really made clear yet.
It seems like there is a little backpedaling going on. They saw the wave of hate that came with this, announcement, and now they're like, oh no, maybe there is a way that you could sell your used games later. We'll figure it out as we go. Okay, great. Stop tweeting.
Okay, well, okay. GameStop can't be happy about this at all.
No, probably not.
Because they're still in no way involved in the buyback system. It seems like, they haven't made it clear yet, it seems like it would all be done via Xbox Live. But they've made it seem like there's a lot of things that aren't set in stone yet. Like they haven't determined how often your Xbox would need to check in. They said, some officials from Microsoft had said, oh, once every 24 hours, your Xbox One needs to be connected to the internet so it can check in with us. But then they've said, oh, well, that's not really set in stone. That may not be the determined length of time. And that pretty much says to me that they haven't figured it out yet. They haven't determined that yet. So maybe if people are loud enough with their grievances, they could help them make that decision, possibly. We did see that Sony stock went up exponentially around the time of the presentation, though that is also likely related to some changes at Sony Entertainment.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are going to change over the next couple of months regarding the
Well,
Xbox
they haven't
One.
explicitly said this is set in stone,
So whether or not this is testing the waters, or it will be, a repackaging or a rebranding or backpedaling.
Backpedaling.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, but I think they're making a very strong case for PC gaming.
Well, you say that, except the games that you buy on Steam are also tied to your account. You
Yes,
can't
but the
sell
games you
them
buy
back.
on Steam can also be massively discounted.
Oh yeah, that's true, and that's
Yeah.
why Steam is so successful.
Yes.
But it's not like they're doing this awful thing that no one else is doing. Steam's been doing, PC gaming, digital download has been doing that all along.
I think it's more acceptable if the prices aren't $60 per title. That $60 per title thing could make some kind of, we've been seeing like B-level companies producing moderately okay games, and then, people don't really buy them. They're going to go for the big purchases for the full price of $60, which is the standard right now. And I'm worried to see what will happen.
On an unrelated tangent, is it possible that console game developers ever take a hint from this wildly successful digital download service that Steam and other companies are doing?
I think that would be
being able
wise.
to discount these games so severely?
Well, Steam kind of revolutionized the PC gaming market this way by making it, so inexpensive to get a game that maybe you had thought about buying, but you didn't buy right away when it was released.
And so far, consoles have not followed suit. Do you expect them to?
You can get like a $20 or $40 game in Xbox Live. Sometimes the PlayStation Store has discounts, but it's just, it's not as much as Steam. It never will be.
And you can look for a copy of any Mario game today, and it's still like $55, $60.
Yeah, Nintendo doesn't really do it either. Something that seemed interesting was that this isn't very indie friendly, the Xbox One.
As
indie
opposed to the
developers.
Xbox 360,
Yeah.
which, you know, made its bread and butter on
So
indie
we're not
games,
going
as
to
far
see
as I'm
great
concerned.
things like Braid
Yeah.
very
Oh, yeah.
easily. They've not made it easy. I think the PlayStation 4 was more interested in catering to developers or making things at least easier interface-wise for developers, and that was a wise move, at least in my opinion.
I agree. I completely agree.
Because, well, I think indie developers need to be treated like the big developers of tomorrow, per se. I mean, they've produced so many great titles that are riskier and maybe not as technologically beautiful or graphically beautiful, but there's something that really should be paid attention to, and I think Xbox One has made a big mistake in doing that, not doing that.
Indie games and low-budget games are always in contention with the AAA titles for Game of the Year every year. There's always a couple, so they are not to be ignored.
So what has Xbox One left you feeling about it? Are you going to possibly buy it this holiday season? Whatever it costs, we don't know yet. Or would you maybe think Sony is going to win here in the console wars of tomorrow? Or Nintendo, PC? Those are the new choices instead. Let me know what you think in the comments. What is going on over there?